Welcome back to my channel. As I explained in my first video, I tried for years to have rational discussions when I first got on the internet around 40 years ago. But even though I always responded courteously, it never stopped anyone from being nasty. And so, after a couple years, I switched my approach to pointing out their tactics. Sure, they continued to be nasty, but each time they were, it just gave me more examples to point to. Trolls hated that, which usually led to attempts to censor me instead. Related to all this is the issue of gossip. I really don't like gossips. Usually they seem more intent on getting attention, and if people are hurt along the way, they don't care, or they make poor excuses to justify what they do. And usually their claims have an unhealthy number of assumptions that are the basis of their accusations. The excuses these gossips use are typically just self-serving rather than rational. Most common is the claim that a vlogger, by putting themselves on YouTube, makes them a public figure and thus legitimately subject to whatever gossip people want to spread or make up. Regardless, nothing excuses making up things about someone else. The real issue isn't what you can legally say about someone. It is about what is ethical or moral. Why would a decent person want to hurt another for no good reason? Also, just because someone makes part of their life public, that doesn't mean it's open season on every aspect of their life. Some may say that I talk about other people all the time, and that is true. But I'm focusing on those people who go around lying about others or making negative assumptions, and I document them doing so. That isn't gossip, that's defending others from gossips or worse. Let's look at some examples. There's a channel called Philippine Antics, featuring the married couple of Heidi and George. Haven't watched them much, but they seem to be into gossip. For instance, I saw a video of them talking about Rose and David Campbell. Apparently David, who has serious health issues, had decided to go back to the US. On the Antics channel, Heidi described Rose as a saint for working so hard to care for David. So, no problem, right? Well, that isn't all Heidi said. We have this from her where she is quoting from Rose's live stream.
Finally, to the trolls and critics, I am not asking anyone for money, but simply for your understanding, kindness, prayers, and that God will temper David's stubborn mind to guide him and seek the medical care that he needs. Thank you, and thank you for subscribing to my channel.
Seems simple enough. Rose is giving information about what is going on, but also clearly saying she's not asking for money. So why does Heidi respond with this?
Now, I will make a statement about that because I can't keep my mouth quiet on that. She did say that several times during her live streams, and I'm going to call it out, that other Filipinas have used the same tactics to actually ask for money.
That sure sounds like she is saying Rose is doing the same thing. Otherwise, why bring it up? Rose actually said she wasn't asking for money. Words matter. Now, it is true that a person may actually say they aren't asking while hoping they'll get it anyway. So, as a general observation, that's fine to point out. But the problem is that Heidi is taking something that may apply to some people and acting as if that is what Rose is doing. Just maybe Rose really means she isn't asking for money. It's like how most people will warn you about dating a Filipina who quickly starts asking for money. Yet it is also true that there are Filipinas who deliberately won't ask for a very long time to get you to think she's not a scammer, and then drain you dry. But that certainly doesn't mean every Filipina who waits just plans to scam you later. When you refer to specific people, you need to have a just reason to criticize. Let's consider the 3 ways Rose could have handled this money thing and see how unfair Heidi's standard is. Rose could have come right out and asked for money. Trolls would almost certainly criticize Rose for doing so. Or Rose could say nothing about money at all. What do you think trolls would do? I submit that a lot of them would claim she was hoping to get more money by saying nothing to discourage it. Which brings us to the 3rd choice, which Rose did, telling people she wasn't asking for money. Yet she gets criticized for that too. In other words, no matter what choice Rose had made, people were going to claim she was trying to get money. Any standard that allows the same attack to be made, no matter what you do, isn't a valid standard. It's like when you have hot days and people say that proves global warming. And when it gets cold, that proves global warming too. So they changed the terminology to climate change. But it still is all about warming, and everything somehow proves it. That's not science. Here's more from Heidi.
I just noticed exactly what she said throughout that last live stream of just her is exactly what she pinned. I'm not asking for any money, as there's no reason to even ask. And there's no reason to even say that.
But there is a reason to say you aren't asking for money if, you aren't asking for money. Then we have this.
If George passes away, you will not see anything. I'll just say, hey, he's gone. This is how it goes. I'm not going to ask for any money. Same here. You will not hear a peep about saying, hey, I got to, send money, send Gcash and do all that so we can pay for George's funeral.
But Rose didn't ask for money either. So what's the problem? Well, besides that assumption thing, here's more, which is really interesting.
And we're not even going to sit here and say, hey, we were organized and have money, because we're not organized. We don't have the money for super emergencies. And we have some money. We don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Organized then.
Do you see the problem? Is Heidi making sure viewers know they don't have any money for super emergencies, so if one does come up, people will send money anyway? Am I saying Heidi said that as a tactic? Nope. Because while I can be confident some people would use it that way, I can't tell if that is Heidi's motivation. Therefore, I don't assume she is. But I am pointing out that the standard Heidi used about Rose could just as easily be applied to Heidi. People in glass houses and all that. It comes down to this. What some people use as a tactic, others do for perfectly legitimate reasons. You don't judge the act of one person based on how someone else misuses it. Thanks for watching, and don't let the trolls stop you from speaking out.